Hi, my name is Andrew McHugh, and this is the Lesson 4 Independent Reading Project. The comic I chose to read this week was the Killing Joke, which is a story by Alan Moore and the art by Brian Bowling. The comic has been widely praised as one of the best comics of all time, and I could clearly see that after having read it today. It was absolutely fantastic. We'll get into that here. But before we get into the comic, we'll talk about the writer. Alan Moore is known for a lot of fantastic pieces of work, which include The Watchmen, V for Vendetta, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and this one, obviously, The Killing Joke. This is basically a Joker origin story and shows the typical back and forth between Batman and the Joker. Basically, something seems like they've been doing forever by some of the comments that the Batman has made within the story. And basically, the Joker is looking to prove that any man can be pushed past his breaking point and caused to go mad. And in this story, the Joker attempts to drive Commissioner Gordon insane to prove his point. Since I picked up The Killing Joke on Amazon, I took some time to read some of the reviews on there. I think there was like over 1,700 total regarding this comic. One of the reviews stated, and this review is by Raymond Reedy, that The Killing Joke is an exceptional piece of literature. There was also an unnamed person on there that stated, top to bottom, it's an incredible book and an absolute gem. Right now, I believe The Killing Joke has 4.7 out of 5 stars on Amazon, which is pretty impressive for any book story on Amazon. So a lot of great reviews on there. To start off the story, it's basically a man who becomes the Joker, who's initially an engineer, who quits his job at a chemical plant and wants to become a stand-up comedian, only he's not very funny and he fails miserably. He's desperate to support his wife, and he has a child on the way, it seems. So he agrees to help a couple criminals that want to go through the chemical plant where he used to work because he knows the layout, and they want to rob the playing card company next to it. During the planning, the police actually inform him that his wife has actually died in the hospital, and at that point, he obviously grief-stricken. He tries to get out of the crime or the robbery because it just doesn't make sense anymore. That was his why he was committing the crime, is to have one big score and get his wife out of the situation that they're in. But he's actually strong-armed by the criminals into keeping the plan in place and forcing this man to go in and show them how to get to the card company. At the plant that night, he actually puts on the Red Hood, which is something that the criminals had said is to keep their anonymity and someone to blame, besides themselves. So he actually dons the Red Hood. Once inside, they encounter some security, which they weren't prepared for, and security draws their guns, and there's a shootout. Within the shootout, the two criminals are killed, and Batman appears, tells the security guards that he has it from there, and then proceeds to approach the man in the Red Hood. Very scared, obviously. The man wants to get away from Batman. He actually jumps into the chemical plant's waste pipe to escape Batman, and he's swept through the pipe, leading him outside. He discovers that the chemicals have permanently disfigured him, and it's left his skin white, his hair green, and his lips like a dark red. He's now disfigured, and he has no family anymore, which drives him insane. And this is basically the birth of the Joker, or his origin story. Um, that's the flashbacks within the Killing Joke. The comic actually starts with the Batman going to Arkham Asylum. He wants to talk about the Joker and their long feud. He wants to talk to him about the fact that they're going to end up killing each other, which is interesting because obviously Batman has his moral code where he doesn't kill anyone. So to hear him talk about how the Joker is either going to kill him or he's going to kill the Joker was a little weird right off the bat, and that's what struck me initially. Is to hear Batman talk about killing, having read a few things about Batman before, and then seeing a lot of the movies. It's one of the biggest pieces of Batman is he doesn't kill, even though in some of the movies recently he kills. But he actually only finds out that there's a decoy in his place. The Joker's actually escaped. Once breaking out of Arkham Asylum, the Joker's found going after Commissioner Gordon. He breaks into their place, into Commissioner Gordon's place, and shoots Barbara Gordon, Commissioner's daughter, in the stomach, which paralyzes her, and then kidnaps Commissioner Gordon. Takes Gordon to like a rundown amusement park. He beats him. He puts him in a cage. He tries to break him, turn him insane. He actually puts him on like a roller coaster into a fun house. He forces him to ride the fun house car in a cart and push through to see pictures of his daughter lying in pain and naked and bloodied, which is trying to break him, obviously turn him insane. Obviously, Gordon is going through that gauntlet and through the Joker's freak show. After that, the Joker is with an assortment of different characters that you probably see in like a circus, and ridiculing Gordon as just an average man, and he's doomed to insanity. The Joker actually reaches out to the Batman with an invitation, tells him exactly where he's at, and leads him to the amusement park. Batman arrives, he saves Gordon. Joker goes into the fun house, and Batman goes in after him. They actually, you could hear the Joker talking about the one bad day can turn anyone insane. Before he goes in, actually, though, Gordon tells Batman that, they need to, do it by the book and take Joker alive, not to kill him. Show them that our way works, is what he states. That's really big. That's Gordon telling Batman not to kill him, even though he's hurt his daughter. So Batman subdues the Joker, tells him that Gordon has survived all of his torments. It hasn't had the effect that he wants. At the end, they realize they both had one bad day. It's turned them into who they are. The Joker tells a joke at the end, and it's really left unclear how the story ends. As the police arrive, you don't know if really Batman did kill him or not, or they agreed to part ways. But the Joker is now in custody, and we don't really know what happened. I don't see much of a hero's journey in the story, maybe because it was centered around the villain. Batman wasn't leaving home or on a journey. He wasn't called to track down, but he was called to track down the Joker in Gotham and save Commissioner Gordon. He obviously didn't refuse because he's the Batman. He enters the unknown of the funhouse with all the booby traps that are set for him. There doesn't seem to be any supernatural aids or talismans or helpers for the Batman here. His reward is actually catching the Joker and ultimately saving Gordon on his journey. I did enjoy this, along with Batman Year One is one of my first experiences with the stories of Batman. So overall, I really liked it, and I had fun with the independent reading assignment. Thank you.